What's up out there? I'm Long Island 495, my second in a series of either 5 or 6 videos that I plan to make over the next few days, all about the Super Bowl. My first one was about all of the hijinks and everything else that goes on with Media Day, and my second video is talking about what I think of the fact that this year's performers at the Super Bowl halftime show will be legendary rock group The Who. Now, I'm a big time fan of many classic rock bands, The Who included. For somebody my age, only 19, about to be 20 in about a month. It's sort of strange for me to, probably strange for you to probably hear that, for you to realize that I'm a classic rock fan. I'm a big fan of a lot of the classic rock groups. Definitely better than a lot of what they're putting out today. No offense to you new rockers out there. Rock on. But I'm a huge fan of classic rock, and I'll definitely be watching the halftime show as I watch the game, and I think it'll be a good performance. It won't be vintage late 60s, early 70s, late 70s Who, but the halftime show is the halftime show for a reason, and they only book the best. But I do sort of have a problem with the direction that these halftime shows seem to be going in, and I know exactly the reason why they're doing it. Notice most of what they've been putting out for the halftime shows recently. Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney, Bruce Springsteen. They seem to be going in a lot of, to a high extent, they seem to be going in the direction of trying to market themselves into the older NFL demographic. When you put out talent like the Rolling Stones and Prince and Bruce Springsteen and acts like that, it definitely markets yourself to the older demographics. Most of the younger demographics like me only know a lot of these older demographics because of either the halftime show or because their parents listen to this type of music in the car, or through something called a rock band. And I have not played a rock band yet, but who knows, maybe one day I will. But they seem to be marketing themselves to the older demographics. And the reason why they're doing this is because of what happened with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake. The NFL thought that because of what happened in 2004 in Houston, and I lived in Houston at the time this happened. I was living in Houston in 2004. The NFL got so much heat from the FCC, and so did MTV, because at that time the halftime show was also on MTV, and so did CBS, who, by the way, is also broadcasting this year's Super Bowl, because that Super Bowl was in Houston, was also on the eye on CBS, as they used to say back in the day. They got so much heat for that performance that they were contemporary acts that the NFL took a step back, and I think they said, wait a minute, if this is what we're gonna keep putting out, and this is gonna keep happening with these new contemporary acts, and these new hip hop acts that they keep on putting out there, that the older fans will start, they will, they're gonna be more and more, how should I put it? They're going to be more and more disgusted with what they see. So the NFL decided, let's line up a group of acts. Let's use the halftime show to really get back into the good graces with the older demographics, and let's put out these blast from the past acts like Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen, and The Who. Now, I don't speak for the general population. Just because I may be a fan of classic rock and classic hits and, that type of stuff, I like that type of stuff, does not necessarily mean everybody in my age demographic does. You know, it's this simple. It's just like radio. There are formats and musicians that appeal to the older demographics, and there are formats and musicians that appeal to the younger demographics. And the Who and Pete Townsend, for the most part, does not appeal to the younger demographics the way, say Beyonce or Lil Wayne or Lady Gaga would. You know, because they're they're what's hip today. The comparing 2010 to the 1970s is, you want to talk about comparing apples to oranges. That's like comparing apples to cantaloupes, let alone apples to oranges. So I want to know what you think about the halftime show. Do you think that they need to go in a different direction the NFL does with marketing its halftime shows? I think it's this simple. One year you have an act from like the 70s, like The Who or Bruce Springsteen or something like that, and then the next year you have a contemporary. Contemporary, classic. Contemporary, classic. 1 year contemporary, 1 year classic, and go on from that to that. Or even contemporary, classic, classic, contemporary, classic, contemporary. But don't just make the halftime show all of a sudden, just because of what happened with Nipplegate and Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake. Don't, try and, say that this is a reflection of the hip-hop and the hits culture today, and just try and market all these blasts from the past, even as much as I like them. So until next time, I'm Long Island 495, and I will see you on the internet somewhere. Peace, y'all.